Welcome back to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. I'm Rosa.
And I'm still Sharon. Hey.
Thank you once again for joining Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. As always, we appreciate all of our subscribers.
Yes.
But before we introduce the topic for today, we have to give a shout out. First but not least, we're going to give a shout out to Luna Works Odds and Ends. And they actually have a channel as well. So if you get the opportunity, check them out. But thank you, Luna, for subscribing to our channel. Next is Zeo Falcon M Shields. Thank you for your comments. I have read them all, and I appreciate the dialogue back and forth. You and I have gone back and forth with some things, and I just appreciate your honesty. Last but not least, a new subscriber, which is Boss Lady, excuse me. Boss Lady, yeah, I know you said you've been binge watching. I hope you like what you're hearing and seeing. And don't forget to share our video with your friends as well. But thank you for being a subscriber, and thank you for all of your comments. So let's get into today's topic. Some of you all
Ain't ready. Or maybe you are. Maybe you're already
Right.
doing it. We don't know.
Right. So we're gonna talk about open relationships.
What?
Yeah.
Open relationships?
Yeah. Open relationships. So
Well, now.
yeah.
Okay. I got questions.
I got questions too, because I got questions why Sharon even wanted to talk about it. And that's my first question.
Wait a minute. You're gonna start the show by busting me out, right?
Hey, that's my first question.
Oh, it's not like I didn't want to talk about it. I just said,
Yeah. So, what do you all think about open relationships?
Yeah.
And we're gonna give you a little bit about what
our
we
experience.
think about.
Yeah, and our
open
thoughts on it.
relations. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because we've already had the conversation. Woo.
And if any one of us had to have an open relationship, you can guess which one that was, right?
Okay. Okay. I've already taken the bite. I've already taken the bait. It says, yes, today our topic is open relationships. And before we just jump right into it, let's define what an open relationship is. First you a couple, lesbian, straight, bi, trans, whatever, you have a couple. If that couple agrees to and invites someone else into their relationship, and it's okay for the other partner to have sex or romantic dealings with this person, and everything's cool, right? They have an open relationship. Now, that's just with the three of them.
Right.
There's open relationships with, she's got somebody else on Wednesday, and you got somebody else on Thursdays, and everybody gets along. Open. Open as in, I know you love me, but I know I don't satisfy all your needs, so you might want to do a little something, something special, every second weekend of the month, and it's okay.
Right.
The other person agrees, and the two of you agree. Because you have to be in agreement
For it to be an open relationship.
and for it to be a successful open relationship. Some of y'all got open relationships and your partner don't know is open. So
Right.
we
That would be cheating.
cheating. Okay, there you go. All right, thank you. So
But if both parties agree and it is working out for you, that's great.
all three parties,
Yeah. Well,
right? So
That's true.
Right.
All four.
So, so the question today is, why would people desire to go into an open relationship? I
That's a
don't.
good
What do you
question.
think? Why do people do it?
I don't know. I think that's a great question. I don't see a need to go into an open relationship, so that's why I'm having a little problems.
You got
with,
questions on your mind? Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got a bunch of questions.
All right. Well, let's say for a moment, as we really do live in lesbian land, But let's and using us as an example. Um, why would you? You say you don't understand why a person would go into an open relationship, and I'm saying I'm open-minded. I do understand to some degree why people would go into an open relationship, and here's some of the reasons for people who have been interviewed and answered. Here we go. People do it for the excitement. They do it for sex. They do it for adventure. They do it so that they don't get bored. They do it to get better, to better their own techniques in the bedroom.
Well,
There's
to me, it's a form of all of the things in which you're saying is a form of then you're just not happy with your partner. I mean, if you're bored and you're doing it for excitement, you should be having excitement with your partner. You shouldn't be bored with them. I mean, we all get bored from time to time. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just not saying that I need to go out and look for that. If I find that in someone else, then I'm leaving the partner I'm with.
really. Well, here we go. Well, some people, an argument could be made about that. Sometimes people you really are happy with each other. However, the bedroom scene may not be really happening like it could be or should be or once did. So I still love you. I'm still here, but I need a little something extra. And with your blessings, you say yes because we're still okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you still in love with Janie, and everything's okay. But remember, I said one of the most important elements, if one was to go into one have an open relationship and want to invite someone else into it, you would have to have that discussion, and you surely got to have that approval for it to be successful.
Yes.
Now, I can't imagine coming home and say, Rosa, could we just be okay because I met Jane, and me and you are good, and we loving each other. But do you mind if I see Jane on a sexual basis?
I'm cutting the conversation off. That's a no for me.
Oh well, it just wouldn't fly here evidently as you see that.
I think the conversation we should be having is why do you feel like you need to go into an open relationship? Why? Am I not doing to fulfill anything that quote unquote Jane can do? So that for me would be the question in the conversation. Like, let's talk about it. And if Jane is fulfilling all of these things, then who am I? Let me roll out.
But maybe Jane can't fulfill everything, and neither could you, or respectively.
No. And
so.
I get that whole part of it where it's good if I had this person, and this person, and combine them all, and I get everything that I want and everything I need in a mate or whatever. But sometimes you're just not going to get everything, so you're going to have to settle for whatever it is that you agreed to when you got into a relationship with the particular person. But now you're talking about let's have an open relationship. That to me is just asking permission to cheat. Because is it just going to be quote unquote a Jane? Because then Jane's gonna turn to no, she's not. I'm gonna see Mary now. Okay, no, I'm gonna see Rachel now, and I'm gonna see it. I mean, it's where does it end? Or is there a line that you draw?
Well, I see that you've just picked it up and you ran with it. That is not what I'm suggesting. I'm not saying that you need to have 3 and 4 people to satisfy your relationship. I don't think we've answered the original question, which is, like, could you be in an open relationship?
Oh, I answered that.
Okay.
Because I cannot. And will not. But that's what I'm saying. You're saying, well, I didn't say have multiple people, but when I say it's okay for you to just have one other person, then that one other person becomes no longer significant to you, and you move on to somebody else, and then you move. And I'm not saying you have to see all 3 of them at the same time, but I'm just saying where does it end? That's all I'm saying. I mean,
well, suppose okay, so it's not a numbers game. Let's just say this: you using us for example, in our relationship. And let's say you're happy and I'm crazy happy as well. We've been together several years and everything's rock and rolling, and then maybe not so much. but we know we at core we have a great relationship. We care for each other. We do for each other. Blah 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 blah. And I ask you in year 10 or 12, sweetie, I think I'm not getting everything I need. Or you may have the same feelings too. Would you mind if we would, can we have an open relationship? Some people have open relationships and they just haven't declared it as open. All right,
well, that's what they said. Jada and Will had.
Well,
open relationship.
Yeah, and Jada had what she said she
entanglement, but they were supposed to have been separated.
They were separated at the time, and she was considering divorce, but they evidently have found each other again. Wonderful. So taking it back to lesbian land, I'm saying for you and I, if I were to have that conversation with you, could you understand that one person can be very, very happy with the other? However, I don't believe one person fulfills all your needs. I don't believe that.
And I don't either. And that's what I'm saying. You have to then decide if the person that you're with is fulfills the majority of your needs. So if you put 10 things on the table and they only satisfy 8 of those things, then you have to decide if that 8 is good enough, or do you want to move on to maybe, roll the dice and see if you can get a 9 or 10. I get that. But there's no relationship, I don't think, that somebody fulfills every waking detail. But that's the whole part of being in a relationship. You take and you give. Because you're not putting out everything the other person, is looking for either. So don't think you coming in as a dime piece and they just, taking whatever they can take. That's just not how that works.
Okay, well, here's the direct question to you. Have you ever been in an open relationship?
No.
That's enough. Didn't think so. Okay.
You want to tell your story?
I don't have a... Why you asking?
First of all, y'all know we talking truths.
Okay.
On Conversation with Sharyn and Rosa.
Well, okay, I will say this.
Tell her to get in her truths. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, I have. And it's interesting when I start doing some reading in other areas and stuff. But you know how you find yourself sometime in a book and you're like, oh, yeah, that was me. That was me too. But I'm so much better. I will say this. I surely have loved more than one person at one time. I surely, in my vanity, my whatever you want to call it, in my crazy dream, like, why can't I have both of them? One.
But when you were in love with both people at the same time, did they know about each other?
Yes.
Okay then.
And
were they okay with that?
They got closer and closer to being okay.
There you go. So. That's an open relationship.
But I was pushing it toward that way because I truly, like I say, being
right. It doesn't matter how they accepted it. They accepted it.
I can't speak for everybody. I'm just saying that I was being, because in my dream situation would be like, why do I have to make a choice? Why can't I have them both? And I felt that they both loved me and I loved them. And I of course with my original partner, I was like, hey, can we work it out? And then, and the answer was, we'll try. Now, it was not an easy conversation to have. And as I said before, if you are in an open relationship, one of the key elements is that you've got to have that communication.
Absolutely.
You got to have, talk about that. There's got to be rules. I don't want to put it out there like you disagree with it and I'm for it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that perhaps I just have a higher level of understanding and acceptance about it.
I understand it. I understand the whole concept of it. I just don't understand why people would actually do it. I understand it. I understand when you're looking for something different or when you want to be fulfilled or be happy, and that person may not be doing quite that, although they are a good person and you love them and you want to, build a future with them. It just may be that one little area where they're just not who you want them to be, and you don't want to change them because That's a whole nother, breakup situation. But you want to now go and find someone, that will fulfill that part. And then in your mind, you're saying, oh, then I'm going to be whole because I got, this person over here and this person over here to fill the void. It's always going to be a void somewhere. If that partner says yes, you can go and have relationships with whomever you want just to satisfy them, or make their partner happy. They may say yes, but at the same time, you will always be searching. You will always be searching. There's not going to be anybody out there that's going to be able to fill that one little piece that you're missing.
Well, what do most people? What do you think most people do in situations like that? Do they just do without? They
No,
settle?
I think that most people that's in open relationships kind of fall into it, because I kind of know your story. Kind of fall into it like your story. You know what I'm saying? You didn't set out to be in an open relationship.
Right.
You just
Right.
happened to be with someone, and then you fell in love with someone else because whatever the because is.
In the words of the late Rodney King, why can't we all just get along?
I'm just saying, most open relationships, I think, kind of fall into being an open relationship. I don't really think
Really?
people walk into having conversations like, you know what, I want to date you, but I do open relationships. Like, who does that?
Well, we talk about speaking our truth a lot, in these conversations. Evidently somebody's doing it, because there's people that are in open relationships, and supposedly, because I have not seen the empirical data on it, one, because I'm not saying there's none, it's just
Right.
it hasn't been collected and presented, saying that gay people tend, this was stated in a report, gay people tend to want to experiment more, and also to be happier than the the general population, because of their willingness to explore and deal with other unconventional relationship lineups. I can believe that.
Excuse me. And I can believe it too. But what I'm saying, back to my point,
Okay.
I don't think people are going into relationships just telling people they open. Like, I just wouldn't accept that. That's all I'm saying is, like, okay, I appreciate you being honest, and I appreciate you coming to me with that. But unless somebody's like, oh yeah, girl, go ahead and I do open relationships too, then that may work.
Some people do.
But I think a lot of them fall into, they've been with one person and then they just happen to fall in love with another person. That other person that they're in the relationship with then doesn't want to lose them. So for whatever reason, they accept the situation.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
how I believe the open relationships happen. Okay, so I know, I mean, and I understand we're talking lesbian land here, but just in general, growing up, when you would see your uncles and aunts and uncles in relationships, and they getting abused, and they still with the person, and it's like they accepted the fact that they're with this person, and they know he out or she out dealing with somebody else. And that's when the drama starts, and that's why the beating starts, and that's why so it's too much.
I think we're mixing our concepts.
It's not mixing.
No,
It's
no,
the same thing. We're just
no.
talking, about lesbians, gay people versus, straight people. It's the same concept. Same concept. They accepted the situation, and for whatever reason, they don't want to lose whoever they're with. So they're like, okay, he can hit me once in a while. I don't care if he's still sleeping with Sally, long as he bring his check home, long as we good to go.
So what I'm hearing you saying, if you're saying and whole and healthy, you wouldn't normally be okay with the idea of walking into of having an open relationship.
And I'm not going to be in one that starts off. If you fell in love with somebody else, then that's fine too. I get that.
Okay, let's leave the somebody else off. Let's just say you and I are together, everything's moving and grooving, and we loving each other, and I say several years down the road, and I'm just saying, sweetie, I need a little bit more. You know what I mean? Not just peanut butter, but I need the jelly too, or whatever it is that you're wanting and not getting. you know, do I have your permission to go into an open relationship? I would have to know that I'd have to be telling you the truth. Number two, you would have to be open minded enough to even hear me, for me to even request it.
But you can request it, and I am open minded. I get it. I wouldn't be looking at you like, no, why are you even coming to me with something like this? I would listen to you, hear you out. I mean, the answer's still gonna be no.
Okay.
But I get it. I'm not saying, yeah. Well, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I'm telling you, again, I'm not.
Yeah, okay, and it's all right because I'm not trying to sway your opinion as we're talking to
it sounds like
our
you
friends
are.
out here. No, I just
sounds like you want to undercover be in an open relationship.
I am very happy. I'm very happy. Okay. So, but and that's interesting. I didn't think we would be that far apart on it. Especially with the age dynamic. Sometimes I know when I was out there, long ago, dating younger women, they surely seem to have, a wider and more permissive idea of what dating looks like and more or less one-on-one relationships. You know what I mean? You're not old school, but in some areas you are. And I like you for that basic, that country girl and and grits and grits and fried fish on Sunday. I see all that in you, and I love the fact that you're a loyal person, as am I. But I am a Gemini, and it's that duality. I get it. I tell you, with some of the reading that I did, though, because I'm not, people in open relationships, I ain't beating you down.
I'm not throwing shade. If if y'all out there want to have an open relationship,
and you can make it work,
if it's working for you, cool.
And the respect
now, don't get me
there.
wrong. I've cheated, so I know how it is to be in two relationships.
Not on me. Hold on.
Yeah, no,
not with me. Let me be clear.
This is older relationships, but I'm saying I know it's a lot of work. Just to be in an open relationship gotta be a lot of work too. Y'all can have it.
See, one person wears you out. You can't imagine dealing with two. You ain't got time for it. Well,
yeah.
And sometimes, I always say, we oftentimes people have selfish motivations, and they do. You know what I mean? Not all of us, not all the time, but some of us do. But I know it sounds like we're in a jungle today. There was a word that I discovered, and it's it's called compersion. 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 Compersion, and it's kind of. It deals with the look, I'm not gonna say it's not a real word. You won't find it in a dictionary, but you will find it on Wikipedia. But they coined the word about 40 years ago, and it deals with having so much empathy for a person, and so much that you care so much about them that you enjoy that person when they experience their joy. It's like I get my joy seeing you receive your joy. Now, if you can translate that into something physical and even erotic, if you will, so that's saying that's my woman, but you can sleep with her too because I like the way she looks when she's pleasured. And if you can deal with someone else being with your woman, husband, boyfriend, endeared one,
I don't think it's about the other person now. I think it's about you and your fantasies trying to be, wanting to just see that type of thing. That's something within
that
you.
person.
Yeah, or that person. It's not.
I'm sorry. When you say you mean the universe.
Yeah,
not me.
Yeah, no, I'm right. But I'm just saying, when you say, people get a rise out of seeing their partner happy. We all do. I want you to be happy. But there's certain things.
Do you really want to see me happy, baby?
That I'm just not going to cross the line for, and you're gonna have to find your happiness another way. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'll get you a blow up or something.
Okay. I told you this would be a little touchy today. Because we talk about it because it does exist and it does matter. and I have seen it. I have seen people, do very well in open relationships, and it's not for me, as you say, I'm not throwing shade either. It's all good
Yeah,
if
I
it's
don't know
working for you.
anybody in an
If
open
you're an
relationship.
adult and you can deal with it and you know what's going on and you go into the situation with eyes wide open. That's what I'm saying. No one's snatching you up and that you got to be in an open relationship with, me and my woman. No.
Yeah.
And I, I would be feeling some kind of way if, Rosa came home one day and said, well, Sharyn, we good, but I need a little something extra. So the next 5 or 6 Saturday mornings, I'm going to be away. Doing what? You know what I mean? I think that would just, poof,
Right.
I'm gone.
Right.
Because I wouldn't understand it. So I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying that I do understand it. And some people, like I say, are doing well in open relationships. And I don't think it's the worst thing that can happen with two people who love each other. Now, let's just go back to my reality. I'm not having no open relationship with my wife. So I can't imagine, coming home and Rosa saying that, she wants to invite someone into our world. Uh, oof, on that level. Um, the answer is an immediate no. But and I've already talked about why some reasons that people would even be attracted to it, And I just say it's all good. If you're adults and you ain't hurting anybody, and everyone knows what's going on, accepts it, and walks in, with their eyes wide open, worst things can happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just a little surprised that you're so with it.
How
So
can you be surprised?
I just thought you might be a little bit more open to it. So our question today is,
You apparently don't know me.
oh, I know you, uh, and
As my brother would say, I thought you,
you knew me. Let me say this before I go any further. You look very nice today.
Okay.
Very
Let me not
nice.
put all that on there.
Okay. So that usually gets me out to the doghouse. I again, obviously, we're not promoting it. I just say it's out there. People are living their life like that, and some people seem to be really, really okay with it. So my question to you out there is like, have you guys ever been in an open relationship, and were you happy with it? Okay.
And please correct me if I'm wrong, cause I just don't. I do get it, and I understand why. I just don't subscribe to it.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. You don't know anybody in an open relationship?
No, I can't even think of anybody. If they in a open relationship, somebody cheating. That's just
I want to take the cheating part. Is it cheating when
because
everyone
when
knows?
people don't know, then if you sleeping around with somebody else and the other person don't know, that's cheating.
Right, but
Now,
but
if
this
all
is not
parties are informed, right? But that's what I'm saying. I don't know anybody in an open relationship. If they doing something, they cheating. They not in an open relationship. That's all I'm saying.
that. Okay. Okay.
Right.
Well, that's the way it's going to be today because, as you can see, we're really kind of miles apart on this one, and that's all right. That's all right. It's just a conversation. It's just a conversation,
Yeah,
and
it is.
Huh?
It is.
Yeah.
I still love you. I'm just not
Oh.
going for the open relationship thing. That's all.
Ah. All right, so good. So, look, I think we beat that up enough. But
Yeah.
look, until next time, we're wishing you the very best.
Of all good things, stay safe and stay woke. And happy Pride.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.